Who's your Final Four?
I hate myself for going chalk. Last year was everything got blown up, but the year before was all blue blood. So I got UConn, Arizona, Houston, and Purdue. UConn and Houston have been the best teams in the country all season. Purdue has been right up there. They've lost some games that maybe make you worry. Maybe we're unfairly looking at that because of their recent NCAA tournament history, not just against FDU, but they've lost earlier than they should have the last couple of years, playing smaller, quicker teams. Houston and UConn, Houston has been number one at Ken Palm for
Nice.
most of the season. So, but Purdue, I picked Purdue. I went with my heart a little bit. Purdue this is school. They haven't been to a Final Four since 1980. And they're one of the great fan bases. And I love Zach Edey as a person and as a player. If you don't like Zach Edey, you need to reevaluate things in your life. This backlash with the fouling, they could call 3 times as many fouls as they do against this kid, the way that he gets clubbed. And I've seen a lot of their games in person. But I see 2 teams in the Midwest. If you were going to look for teams that Purdue doesn't want to play, and you got to beat somebody good to get to a Final Four no matter what, you would look for teams with dynamic scoring guards because their perimeter defense has been suspect. And then you'd want teams with good defensive centers to at least create a problem for Zach Edey. And then also teams that don't foul. Creighton is ranked number 1 on Ken Palm in defensive free throw rate. They are the best team in the entire country at playing good defense without fouling. Now, they don't get steals, so that's their thing. We're not going to try, but their efficiency is really good, and they have one of the best defensive centers in the country in Ryan Kalkbrenner, who's also a really good offensive player, 7'1" center. So that, to me, and then Tennessee, obviously a dynamic offensive player in Dalton Knecht. I think Tennessee is actually relying too much on Knecht. He had 40 when they played Kentucky at home, but they lost the game. So I think they're better off with Knecht getting 20 and winning the game. And so that's going to be an interesting dynamic for them going forward. They lost early in the SEC tournament. Kentucky lost early. Houston lost by 20 points to Iowa State. Iowa State didn't do anybody a favor by making Houston angry going into the tournament. So I'm a little worried about Purdue, I'll be honest.
Who do you have winning it all? Who do you have?
I got UConn over Houston. How's that for a bold pick?
Wow, back to back. Well, it is bold though. I mean, for somebody to go back to back is pretty darn bold, regardless of how well they've looked all season long, Seth.
Yeah, and by the way, the only 2 teams since John Wooden did it were Duke and Florida. In both cases, to repeat, both cases they basically brought back their entire team. UConn lost 3 starters and 5 of their top 8 scorers. And look where they are now. That's why Dan Hurley's my coach of the year. That's not even close.
He is amazing. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.